What's up, everybody? You got Specs here, and today we're going to be going over my round 2 match against the England Ampharos in the English Draft League. So basically, we're already in playoff season. I didn't have to play in round 1 because I got a bye, and it's actually not top 8, it was top 10. So the round 1 was basically top 10 trying to force themselves into top 8. And then, yeah, so I'm in round 2 because I did pretty well in Draft League, and we're fighting against England Ampharos, which, if you noticed, we've already covered already on this channel. So I will not be super in-depth with my analysis of their draft team, but it's still going to be there. If you want a more in-depth one, you can always go watch the last video on them. So, anyway, first up we got Mew. Super versatile mod in Draft League. Got a lot of setup options. You got a lot of utility, and you got really good stats as well to back that up. Basically can do pretty much anything you want to, which is why it's always a very sought after Pokemon in draft leagues. Next up you got Diancie, very offensive mega there. Very good coverage, and Rock Fairy, that's a stabs, and then it gets Earth Power and Mystical Fire. It hits Steel types as well. You also have some utility and stuff like Heal Bell, it gets up rocks. Magic Bounce is always a nice ability to stop status conditions and other status moves in general. Next up we got Aegislash. Can run. It's pretty strong, obviously. Essentially, it can basically have like a 600 base stat total because its attack and special attacks flipped due to stance change with King Shield and whatnot. Specs is pretty threatening with Shadow Ball Flash Cannon, especially to my team. We'll go over that later. Gets close combat as coverage as well. Swords Dance is pretty awesome. And then Autotomize is also there for niche like setup sweeper sets, and like you just need like a lot of speed. Not much to talk about. Shadow Sneak to compensate for its low speed, I guess. Kamo, very offensive Pokemon again, but it has a lot of defensive qualities as well. I mean, got 125 defense, of course, they're gonna have pretty solid defensive capabilities. But yeah, you got a lot of setup options: Bulk Up, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, Bully Drum, all those types of things. Clanker Soul, how can I forget? But yeah, and then you got a lot of coverage options to go with that. Obviously, you have Fighting and Dragon moves, but you also have something like Earthquake, Fire moves, Steel moves, that type of stuff. Aqua Tail, yeah, you're gonna need that. Also, 3 pretty cool abilities. Lets you ignore stuff like Shadow Ball. It lets you wall stuff like Chandelier if you put on Bulletproof, but then also you have like a Scrat Exploud answer with Soundproof as well. Or if your opponent's running Sand, you can always run Overcoat to be immune to the sand damage. Yeah, so 3 pretty cool abilities for draft leagues. And then the defensive set is just going to be like Stealth Rock, Body Press, since it has nice defense and Toxic and whatnot. It doesn't have any recovery besides rest, but what can you do? Next up we got Ronin Heat. Levitate obviously is going to be great for its electric fire typing, getting to ignore its one big weakness in ground, although rock and water are still kind of there. Usually you almost always run Boots on Ronin Heat, just because you don't want to take Stealth Rock damage. But you can also run Scarf. If you think your opponent's not bringing rocks, you can just bring leftovers. Might as well, right? Pretty nice setup set in Nasty Plot, because electric fire coverage is pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any grass coverage to cover it up against some water ground types like Seismitoad or Swampert or Gargzire or whatever. But since you can always run Toxic to cripple those as well, so pretty good on that end. You can run Screens as well. I ran Screens Run and Wash like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago actually, but it's not that great. It has some cool physical moves as well. Foul Play, but that's technically it's a physical move, but it doesn't use your attack. So, you can run like Sucker Punch if you want to kill low health mons, but it doesn't have very good attack anyway. So, obviously it's a really nice pivot also, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I should stop stopping. Tangela is up next. Eviolite makes it. I don't know if it's as bulky or bulkier than Tangrowth, but Eviolite makes it comparable to Tangrowth at the very least. Especially on the physical side, just max HP, max defense, you're gonna be taking hits just as well, if not better than a Tangrowth. Obviously, Regen is obviously a really nice ability. terms of moveset, you got a lot of coverage, and you still have 100 base special attack, so it's not necessarily a weak Pokemon. You know, you got obviously a lot of grass moves. Unfortunately, you don't get Earthquake on like Tangrowth, but you still get stuff like Sludge Bomb. I don't even think you can Pokemon. Okay, well, maybe not that great. You still get Sludge Bomb, you still get Knockoff, which can be nice. You can run Leaf Seed, Sleep Powder still, so those are also cool options. Yeah, moving on, we got Manaphy, another mythical, Pixie mythical. Base 100 all across the board is really nice. Unfortunately, it does not have Mew's amazing move pool, and it also lost Tail Glow, so not very threatening anymore. But you know, you can still set up with Calm Mind. Obviously, you have your choice of water move and a decent array of coverage moves like Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Ice Beam, Psychic for stuff like Toxapex. So pretty standard. You also have nice pivoting potential with U-turn, which is actually probably something that Manaphy would do once it came back. Just like a nice pivot with Scald, U-turn, and like, does it get knocked off? It does get knocked off. So yeah, you can probably run that, something like that. Actually, be a pretty cool moveset. You know, when Manaphy comes back in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, I'm gonna experiment with that. Anyway, next up we got Licky Licky. Obviously, yeah, kind of just gonna use this Mon for Wish Protecting. Yeah, Wish Passing is really nice. Heal Bell is also nice as a Cleric. And yeah, that's pretty much all it does. Knock off, Toxic. Yeah, pretty much it. You can run physical moves, but I mean, actually, yeah, you should. I mean, 85 attack is 85 attack, 80 special attack is the worst thing in the world. Best. I don't know. It could be nice actually. And as a normal type, it has a lot of moves as well, so that could be nice. But yeah, I'm not gonna go over that. Skuntank is up next. Poison Dark leaves it with only one weakness to ground, and so that's pretty cool. He gets a lot of nice moves, obviously in the Poison to Dark area, but he also gets a lot of fire coverage because, I don't know, it's a skunk. I honestly don't know why. But yeah, Foul Play is nice on a defensive type of Skuntank. I think it gets, does it get T-Specs? It doesn't get T-Specs. Well, unfortunate. But you still have Sucker Punch, you have Foul Play, obviously, I already mentioned that. Sludge Bomb is nice for poisons. You got Defog for utility. Unfortunately, it does not get knockoff, but you gotta make do with what you have. Alright, next up we got, oh wait, last up we got Diglett. Obviously, you're pretty much just gonna be using this for Arena Trap. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. It's pretty weak, obviously, but you know, if you trap like a Heatran, you know, you can kill it with Earthquake, so that's pretty cool. You can run like Sash and Reversal to kill stuff like T-Tar. So, you know, there's a reason why Arena Trap was banned in the first place. Unfortunately, in a draft league, your opponent will know what's coming up, so they'll probably be running Shed Shells, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, so that's the team. Let's get into, actually, you know what, I have drafted up like essentially what I think the opponent's going to be bringing. So this is kind of like the general gist here. So obviously Mega Diancie is pretty much, I feel like it's just going to be pretty much an all-out attacker. If he runs Bodist or Adamant, if he was going to run like a physical set, he's still going to be outspeeding everything besides my Sigilyph and my Beedrill. And Beedrill he was never going to outspeed anyway, so I think that was fine for him if he wanted to do that. He kind of made it a self-rocker. H-Slash, last time Specs really teared my team up. Didn't really have a good answer for it. I thought he was just going to bring it again. Honestly, he doesn't really need anything besides Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, and Shadow Sneak, so I just kind of threw on Steel Beam for the last move slot. Next up we got Mew. I think a Cosmic Power Mew would actually be probably the most dangerous thing against me. Just even though I have a Hoopa and a Beedrill, like this thing is massively tanky. If I come in on +1, if I let it set up once, like I could lose. So that's why I had a lot of text to prevent that. Just kind of assumed he's gonna run Bug Buzz for Koopa, Star Power obviously for the Cosmic Power boost, and then the rest with Chesto Berry, just to get around status and whatnot. Manaphy kind of just predicted max HP, max defense, Calm Mindset with 3 attacks. Dazzle Gleam is good for Koopa and Kyurem. Energy Ball is good for Rotom, and Scald is just, well, Scald. Yeah, and then Skuntank, I predicted like near max HP, max defense. Kind of predicted like a Foul Play, Toxic, Defog, Flamethrower set with Black Sludge. I think I was pretty right with that. No, this is not what I predicted. Last mon I predicted was Kamo actually. I think I thought he was gonna bring like a bulk up Scale Shot set. if I remember correctly, because I've seen it run that before. I think this is more so what I was predicting here. Yeah, and then I also gave it a Yachi Berry because with the Yachi Berry, he's able to take the hit from Kyurem, especially since my Kyurem is not Specs, and then he's able to KO it back with close combat. So yeah, that's just filling the Ice Punch for Landorus Theron. Yeah, I'm not going to fill it with the EVs. But yeah, this is kind of the general idea of what I thought he was going to bring, because I think like all these mons are pretty threatening. And yeah, so my team based off of that was this. It's pretty similar to my last week's team. The last time I fought against him, it's pretty similar to that. I just made some small adjustments. So Bronzong kind of kept it the same overall vibe, except I took off Psychic and gave it Toxic just to help stop some setup sweepers. Rotom, I made it a very bulky Trick Scarf variant. Is to help stuff like it's gonna be faster than everything except. Actually, no, it's faster than everything on his team. But basically the idea of it was to, if he brought in Mew and started studying cosmic powers, I would go to Rotom and trigger the Scarf. And so basically, as long as I have Hoopa and a Bug Resist alive, he wouldn't be able to sweep me. So yeah, and I have a lot of Bug Resist on my team, so I wasn't too worried about that. Next up we have Beedrill, and just kind of ran a pretty standard Beedrill, just enough speed to outspeed the Diancie, plus a little bit just in case you try to speed creep that for some reason, like some sort of Scarf one. X-Scissor is just there to stay in on Mew, because I don't want to keep U-turning out on it, you know. So yeah, there's that. And next up we got a pretty standard Boots Kyurem with Sub Roost, Freeze Earth Power. I didn't really change this from last time. Next up we got Scarf Lando. Enough speed to outspeed a... it's going to be enough to outspeed a not plus speed nature max speed Mew. Yeah, that at +1. So there's that, and then I just ran max attack. And then the last thing, oh yeah, moveset. Fly is a pretty interesting one. I just kind of ran that just in case he ran that setup combo. Hopefully I could just kill it, do a lot of damage with Fly, and then hopefully be able to tank another hit with like something like Rotom, and then be able to kill it back. Then next up we got the Assault Vest Hoopa. So this is gonna help check Specs Aegislash for me. I'm gonna be 3-hit KO'd by Specs, Shadow Ball, or Flash Cannon. Shadow Seeds is not gonna do much. Yeah, that kind of vibe. And then I'm running Hyperspace Furies and Headbutt, Knockoff, and Drain Punch. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. And I will go into the team now. All right. So into this matchup, I got most of the predictions, except he brought Licky Licky over Kamo, which I was pretty thankful to see, honestly, because I don't find Licky Licky. I mean, obviously it's very, very passive bond, so. Obviously, I don't find it to be super threatening. I think Wish Passing was, although it was a decent idea, I don't think it was really that necessary, and I don't think it was really that good of an idea. So I mean, I'm enjoying that right now. So I think I was like, at this point, I was just like, I'm gonna obviously lead a Beedrill because it's pretty much faster than everything without a Choice Scarf, and yeah, that's kind of just what I did. So I just led with Beedrill here. So it goes with Mew. Here, I was a little bit afraid that he could have run like a Scarf Mew with Psychic, and that would totally decimate that Beedrill turn one, so I don't want to stay in on that necessarily. So I think I just pulled the switch into Hoopa. So yep, he goes into Skunk Tank here as I go for the knockoff, and I get off the Black Sludge on Skunk Tank. Oh, it's actually Sugar Berry, my bad. But I was able to get off that. I go to Rotom here on the Foul Play because that's kind of my only Foul Play sponge, and then I just go for the Volt Switch on the Licky Licky. Beedrill comes in. I'm finally able to get my Mega off very safely because it's not going to be, even if it's the Licky with Scarf, it's not going to be it's not going to be faster. So I go for the U-turn. Based on the damage, I know it's max HP, max F, so, or basically near that. Bronzong comes out here. I just want to get my rocks up. I think after that, I just go for Toxic as well, as he switches into Mew. Getting the Toxic on the Mew is really nice, but here I found out that he has Leftovers. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to do, so I just go for the Gyro Ball here to test damage. It doesn't really have a lot of, I think that damage is like, it doesn't have a lot of bulk, if I remember correctly. Because I think it was, yeah, actually, I really don't remember actually. It wasn't fast, but it also didn't have a lot of bulk to it. I don't know. Anyway, we later find out this is like just a hazard move anyway. So I think I just go into Hoopa again, just to stop any potential setup. I mean, after you see Stealth Rock on a Mew, you generally don't think it's gonna have any setup moves. You know, just to be careful. I go into Hoopa, and plus Hoopa gives me a lot of momentum anyways. So he goes for Protect. I just go in for the knockoff. I'm just playing it safe. I don't need to make any crazy plays yet. Knockoff's gonna go ahead and it's gonna take to half health. Go back into Rotom on the double switch into Licky Licky. Nice moves there. And I just kind of realized, if this Mew isn't set up, I might as well just trick. I mean, it's probably not set up because it has Stealth Rock, and why should we use Stealth Rock on a setup set? I might as well just give the Scarf to Licky Licky, just to screw with it. So now it can't Wish Pass as well and whatnot. So now I'm just gonna go for Volt Switch, just in case, just kind of to see what he's gonna switch into, because he's locked into Heal Bell right now, so he's not gonna be able to do anything. If I go for the Volt Switch, I go back into Hoopa because I see he stays in, so he's just gonna keep spamming Heal Bell, and I just go for Drain Punch here, because I know Skunk Tank's coming in, so I'm just gonna get the damage, and he goes for Sucker Punch, but I'm able to tank that pretty well, and he goes down. So notice I've been clicking my moves in such a way that it looks like I still could be a choice variant, so I kind of wanted to bait him with that. Oh yeah, by the way, aftermath happens. So he goes into H Slash. I think he thought I was choice locked. He does, I think, at least initially, that's why he switched into H Slash, I'm pretty sure. Because if it was like a special H Slash, it wasn't going to be able to kill me with Shadow Sneak. And if he does kill me with Shadow Sneak, I would love to know that information, so I'm glad with that. I'm glad to lose my Hoopa here. In case he's like Bandit, Shadow Sneak, or whatever. So I just went for the Hyperspace Fury. He thought initially I was choice locked, I think, but then he realized like, well, wait, he might not be choice locked at all. So that's why he switches into Diancie here, because that's his only dark resist at this point. Diancie takes a lot of damage. So now I don't care if the Diancie's bulky. I know Beedrill can kill it pretty much whenever it comes back in. So that's really great for me. Obviously, I'm going to switch out here, though, because I don't want to take the damage. As he Megas evolves, and he actually goes for Baton Pass, which is pretty neat in terms of, like, momentum grabbing. And so he's able to go back to H-Slash. So it takes Leftovers chip, and now I kind of realize, like, well, if this is going to be a Leftovers H-Slash, like, it's probably going to be Subtoxic. So I don't want to do that substitute, so I'm just going to go for Earthquake. Since I have that, it is literally just for H-Slash. So I go for the Earthquake, it does break the sub, and at this point, I'm like, Bronzong, while it is there to check Diancie, I mean, I now know that, first off, like, if he has Baton Pass in the Diancie, that means he can't have any other stab boosting moves. Because otherwise, he wouldn't be able, he's not allowed to use that. He's not allowed to use the Diancie like that. He can't have agility or whatever. He can't have setup. So I know that, alright, it's alright, I got a text. I know that, oh god, I lost my train of thought. So, okay, I know Diancie's never going to be faster than Beedrill. And I know since my Landorus is Scarfed, I have 2 ways of revenge killing Diancie. So I don't really need Bronzong anymore. This was my logic at this point. So I was like, I'm just going to spam Earthquake. I'm just going to get damage on the H-Slash. Also, I know if it's not Specs, Shadow Ball's not going to be able to kill Bronzong. So I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. I want to get the damage on the H-Slash. It's pretty good for me. So he goes Shadow Ball. It's going to do a lot of damage, obviously, but I'm able to Earthquake, almost killing the H-Slash, which is pretty cool. I think I just go ahead and sack Bronzong here. Yep. I could have gone to like Kyurem. Kyurem's not going to take too much from a Shadow Ball that wasn't boosted by Specs, but I don't really need to preserve differential in these games. I just kind of need to win. So he just goes for H-Slash here. He goes for the King Shield. If he was max Spadef, I wasn't going to be able to kill this thing. So with Volt Switch, so that's I go for Hydro Pump here. Licky Licky comes in. I get the pump off. This 22, not doing much at all. I just go for the Toxic here as he goes for the Wish, and then I'm just going to go ahead and Volt out on the Mew coming in. So Mew is going to get most of its health back, but I'm able to threaten it with my Beedrill that I switch back in. In retrospect, since this Mew couldn't have been too fast otherwise, it's like, I honestly still don't know to this day what this Mew set was, because I wasn't really calcing much when I was playing this battle. But I think Hoopa probably was going to be a little bit faster, because I ran a good amount of speed on Hoopa, so like I probably should have gone Hoopa here, because that would have given me a lot more on my turn, because as well, I mean, to be fair, Beedrill also just takes a kill every time it comes in. Actually, never mind. Forget what I was saying. Beedrill goes ahead and kills something with Exit. Well, it doesn't actually kill stuff like Diancie, but it would be able to kill it up, follow up with a poison jab. So yeah, anyway. He sacks the Licky Licky and then goes to Manaphy. Since I don't see an item, right, I'm just gonna play it safe, and then I switched out immediately. Just in case, again, it was like a Scarf variant. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Scarf Skull would have killed. I probably need to check, I should probably check that calculator out. But, you know, it wasn't gonna kill, so like, I probably should have stayed in and just went for U-turn anyway, and I would have been able to figure out what Manaphy it was. It turns out I was actually completely right. It is pretty much the exact Manaphy that I thought he was going to bring. So I just go to Cure Him with a Calm Mind. I'm just going to start spamming Freeze Dry. It is faster than my Cure Him though, so it's not exactly the same in terms of EVs, but like the moveset is generally the same. Goes for Dazzling Gleam. Obviously he's doing a lot. I'm just going to go Freeze Dry again. Blah blah blah. Eventually I kill this thing. Yep. And so at this point, I was like, well, I just need some chip to kill it with literally either Lando or Beedrill. So I'm just going to go for Beedrill. I know I'm taking rocks, but, you know, it's fine. I go for U-turn. I'm going to do a lot. I sack Koopa here on the water move, I'm assuming, and he just go for Surf. And then I just revenge kill with Lando here. The reason why I don't go back into Beedrill, the reason why I don't go back into Beedrill is because I'm afraid of Aegis Slash. It could still possibly have Shadow Sneak, so I don't want to put myself into range just yet. For the Beedrill. So yeah, I just go back into Lando here, and I just revenge kill with Earthquake. He's gonna go into Mew here and recover back up, but I'm just gonna go into Rotom. So yeah. I probably should have paid attention to see if this Mew was faster than me, because the reason why I stay in this turn and just go for Toxic, I didn't remember if it was faster, so I just stayed in on the first turn just to see what happened. Because I want to give my Beedrill a slow Volt Switch in, and I don't really care about Rotom's health at this point. Rotom's kind of expendable in this end game, so who cares? That's why I just go for the Toxic. So I realize I'm slower, so that's good for me. I'm just gonna go for Volt Switch. And now Beedrill can come in and start cleaning house. So obviously nothing's going to be able to take this X-Scissor because H Slash is way too low, and Dance is going to die to follow Poison Jab. Or literally any move. I'm pretty sure X-Scissor will just 2-hit KO at this range. So Beedrill is pretty low. At this point, I know I can win because I have Scarf Lando. It's going to be able to revenge kill both Diancie and H Slash. There's no way in hell a Shadow Sneak crit is going to be able to kill my Landorus, and I don't think Diancie has any priority. So at this point, the game is done. So I'm just going to start spamming knockoff on Beedrill. And I think it turns out I don't think he had Shadow Sneak on his Edge Slash. It probably was up Toxic, as I mentioned before. So, but I was just paranoid. I just want to make sure I didn't, lose. So even with the -1 into attack, Beedrill's still going to be able to take out the Diancie with Poison Jab, and I was able to win that game. So, and end that match with the 3-0, so that's pretty nice. And I get to move on into playoffs. Next up, I think my opponent, he has a team, and by he has a team, I mean he has about 5 months with Regenerator, and he's gonna be a new face onto my channel, so I'm excited for that battle. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, you feel free to do so, but I'm not pressuring anyone. I mean, this isn't really a financial endeavor. I just kind of do this because I like Pokemon. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and you'll see you guys next time. Peace.